He called black women gold diggers. He told his own children, that he should be the last option that they are able to call whenever they need help. He didn't even want to pay for his own, I believe it was his daughter's wedding. He was a willing participant. He was a willing participant in every single thing that he did, and I don't feel sorry for him. The universe sent him signs. Katt Williams tried to warn him. He said it takes 2 weekends. Monique tried to warn him that him now, at the age of 57, and now he has lost his entire football career, basically because him and that girl had to settle for $23 million. His whole football career, he only made 22. So she got his entire Hall of Fame football career within, plus $1 million, within just a few short months.
Shannon Sharpe has to downgrade again, okay? So after losing his potential $100 million podcast deal over a 19-year-old white woman that came out to sue him alleging that he took her without her permission and she could not fight back. She said it was not BDSM. I told him he was supposed to wear a condom. He did not do it.
Shannon Sharpe really should have listened when Katt Williams and Monique warned him to steer clear of those so-called snow bunnies. Now look, he just dropped $50 million to quietly settle that lawsuit with his 21-year-old model girlfriend. And barely moments later, bam, he got hit with another blow, fired from ESPN and lost a whopping $100 million in the process. And Tyler Perry, he's reportedly about to hand over more than $200 million to his own accuser.
I'm calling out Tyler Perry Studios. I'm calling out Mark Swinton. I'm calling out Jeannie Harrison. I'm calling out Michael Robbins. I'm calling out Tyler.
This industry doesn't play when it comes to cashing in on scandal, especially when it's tied to reckless personal choices. Katt Williams sat down across from Shannon just last year, straight up dragging celebs who, in his words, sold their souls and wrecked their careers. And now look, Shannon landed right in the same hot seat, just like Tyler and all the others caught up in messy headlines. And let's not forget, Shannon's whole image took a huge hit months back when 21-year-old Gabriela Zuniga, his alleged side piece, slapped him with a $50 million lawsuit accusing him of serious misconduct. That case shook up social media and had people questioning everything about him. These high-powered names keep getting burned, but it's like they never learn. She says they had some kind of setup, a wild hours-long BDSM arrangement. But things allegedly went way too far when Shannon crossed the line and took full advantage of her trust. And get this, Shannon's pushing 60, while this girl was only 19 when all this started. That age gap alone had people side-eyeing the whole situation. According to her, the abuse didn't just stop in the bedroom. She says he manipulated and controlled her, even bringing up a time where he allegedly threatened to harm her just because she was sharing her live location with her own family. That's some seriously dark behavior. And when she tried to leave him after catching him cheating, no less, things reportedly took a terrifying turn. She claims he snapped and assaulted her multiple times, even saying it happened in both her front and back areas, one of those alleged back assaults. She says it went down as recently as this past January. Shannon's team fired back, denying everything and saying it was all fully consensual. His lawyers even claimed she was trying to run game on him, allegedly asking for $25,000 per cheek before she filed that lawsuit. They're saying he should have just paid her off and walked away, but now it's blown up into a full-blown scandal. Shannon's defense? He says she secretly recorded their bedroom moments, chopped them up, and made it look like something it wasn't. On top of that, he dropped screenshots of texts where Gabriela allegedly asked him to choke her and even told him she wanted to get pregnant by him, because according to her, she wanted a black baby.
I want to be a daddy. I want like some hardcore BDSM action though. And then she says, I want you to tie me up like this. Is me daddy. And you can see when these text messages were released, you can see it says like from Gabby to owner. So it's painting a picture that their relationship was giving that, you know, there was role play and everything that were happening. Now,
it was a very unfortunate situation.
It's crazy.
Horrible situation.
But let me ask
Shannon
you.
Sharpe and his lawyer have handled this whole situation terribly. First of all, if you're saying to Sharpe, you shouldn't be saying anything.
No, he shouldn't.
Busby and this young woman got audio, video, and text messages. If you know all of those things are out there, you should shut the F up and continue to allow your lawyer to do his job. And your lawyer said out of his own mouth that you was close to a $10 million settlement with that girl. That right there is all the more reason to shut the F up. I'm not here to speak to Shannon's guilt or innocence because I don't know, but I do know attempting to settle looks like an admission of guilt because I'm not settling.
Yeah, or you just scared.
Yeah.
Honestly, you just probably scared.
I'm with you, Charlamagne. I feel like he's being advised wrong, right? And you know, when people go through this, they go to an attorney because the attorney usually knows what's best for them. They usually know what to do. And in this situation, like any attorney would say, shut the F up and let's deal with it in court. Let's deal with facts because you can't change public opinion unless it's in court with facts. Now, but one thing I would say, if somebody said this, but I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and you put it in my beep and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. If that didn't happen, I'm going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? Nah, we agreed on this. I'm not going to be like, I'll call you later because I'm feeling like this is a setup right here.
Absolutely.
As soon as you text me this, I'm going to feel a little, and nobody's just going to respond, I'll call you later. You're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? We both agreed to this. You know, like, this is part of the game. Like, nobody's going to respond with that, which scares me. But like Charlamagne said, shut the F up. Let the facts play out in court because right now, all this talking is doing too much.
Audio.
And it's making it worse.
Even audio. And she was like, you're manipulating me. Like, even that would have been like, oh, no. Okay, I see what this is. You know what I'm saying? Unless they were role playing.
But wouldn't you have changed that right from the door? Like, what are you talking about? Like, no. Like, let's not play this game. Are you taping me? Because last night we was good with this. Like, in my opinion.
Whew, this whole situation is messy, chaotic, and full of shocking twists. Gabriella's not playing. She's being repped by none other than Tony Busby. Yeah, that Tony Busby, the same powerhouse lawyer who once tried to take down Jay-Z. Shannon thought he could throw shade by bringing up Tony's past failed case against Jay, but that move backfired hard. Tony came swinging back, claiming Shannon tried to silence Gabriella with a $10 million payout. According to him, Shannon offered the woman, referred to as Jane Doe, $10 million to drop the case, but she stood her ground and said no. She chose to file her case instead. I'm proud to be her lawyer, Tony declared. I didn't chase after her or go after anyone. Shannon knows that. Then Tony took it even further. He dropped audio recordings between Gabriella and Shannon, plus a haunting message Gabriella allegedly sent him the day after one of the incidents. The message read, I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and not put it in my A, and you didn't. I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon. I don't know how to process this.
You're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you did with the shit you did to me.
Okay, well...
People weren't feeling bad for Shannon at all. And why would they? First off, what's a man in his 60s doing fooling around with a 20-year-old in the first place? That alone had folks raising eyebrows. And on top of that, Katt Williams literally warned him right there on Shannon's own show about how Hollywood can eat you alive. Even Jaguar Wright jumped into the drama and dragged Shannon publicly, saying he brought all of this on himself. She even accused him of messing around with shady industry execs behind closed doors.
You know, a lot of people were angry at Shannon Sharpe after his Katt Williams 2024 God Ain't Playing With Y'all interview. A lot of people were angry with him. Matter of fact, there's a lot more people who reached out to him after Katt, who he turned away because he couldn't take the heat. Is everyone forgetting that? And Katt warned him, they're gonna come for you. Monique came after that, told him, they about to get you. You better watch who you kicking it with. She told him the kindest, most polite way possible. And then all of a sudden, he's accidentally going on Instagram, setting up whole corn lives. Humiliation ritual, down to the floor. But why is nobody paying attention to? They're talking about money. 10 million offered to be quiet. She asked for 25,000 for the SCX. He wants 100 million for defamation and whoopty-whoopty-woo and all of this. Why is nobody talking about the simple fact that this is a man that's pushing 60 who's messing with a girl that's barely old enough to drink?
Yeah.
Let's stay there.
Let's stay there.
Because everybody skipped over that. You messing with this girl who's a child. This man has children older than this girl. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying.
Yeah, his daughters are 32, son is 30.
And he keeps getting online. And somebody want to apologize to my family. No, you don't. Because you would stop. You got busted out. You did whatever you did on Instagram. And is everyone forgetting that he was just recently tied to the whole bride and with Casanat and Skip Bayless? Is everybody forgetting that just happened just a couple months ago? You're negotiating $150 million big deal for your podcast outlets and all of that, which, by the way, was all set up for you by the NFL. Oh, I'm sorry. Who did Sean Carter work for?
The puzzle is puzzling.
No, last time I checked, Mr. Carter works for the NFL. And he was the one that got real smart Black Americans who were boycotting the NFL to stop giving the NFL their money. He was able to make all of that happen. I think we're past bending a knee. And then all of a sudden, Black people giving their money back to the NFL again? Those blackouts were for real, and it was costing the NFL millions. What else I also find funny? That he did that interview with the baby person who sat there and told him about when he met Beyonce. Y'all remember that? That happened on Shay Shack. And he talked about how he was at the Diddy party at Diddy's house. And how after, the festivities were winding down and it was getting later into the middle of the night, approaching 3 a.m., Diddy got rid of almost everybody, but he let the baby stay behind with him and his close friends. And then he talked about how Beyonce was there and Jay-Z was there. Not at their house, at Diddy's house. And how Beyonce presented herself to him. And she didn't have to do that because he knew who she was and he couldn't believe she was talking to him. But she approached him. Kind of like how she approached that old friend of his when he said that he was at the party and the little people was there and she asked him, "Isn't this sexy?"
This scandal just keeps getting deeper and dirtier as of right now. Shannon has officially settled that massive lawsuit with Gabriella, which has folks thinking there had to be some truth in her claims. Why else would he throw down millions just to keep the details under wraps? We still don't know if he paid the full $50 million, but whatever the amount was, it was clearly enough for Gabriella to delete her OnlyFans, vanish off the internet, and go live that soft life. Rich, quiet, and unbothered. Meanwhile, Shannon's taking L's left and right. ESPN wasted no time. They fired him on the spot, and he had to hop online to address the whole situation with his tail between his legs. Real talk. He might have avoided all this if he hadn't gotten involved in wild BDMF with someone 4 decades younger than him.
Started, obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week. And really the only thing that I really ask is like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, "Bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless."
But Tyler Perry, he's caught up in an even bigger mess. Forget $100 million. He's looking at losing around $240 million. And word on the street is, another lawsuit is already brewing in the background. Just a few weeks ago, Tyler was hit with a $240 million lawsuit by Derek Dixon, an actor from his show The Oval. Derek claims that Tyler crossed major lines, saying the director sent him explicit messages and tried to lure him into his guest house under the pretense of a professional meeting. But once he got there, things allegedly took a disturbing turn. In the legal docs, Derek says Tyler pulled down his underwear and told him, relax and just let it happen, even promising that it wouldn't hurt. Derek claims he got out of it by quickly switching the conversation, but that moment stuck with him. And people weren't surprised either, because months earlier, actor Christian Keys had already made a cryptic post hinting at similar shady behavior from Tyler. This ain't looking good for one of Hollywood's biggest names. Word on the street is, Christian Keys never took legal action because he allegedly got paid off to keep things quiet.
Speaking to my brother about making a declaration of my experience. What I experienced with certain powers that be that were moving inappropriately. This person was second for years. He was claiming, that he had multiple young black men on the payroll, and they just had to show up when he requested them to be there. Not just women that have to deal with it, but it's also men sometimes. And it'll be men tempting men. I was like, well, I gotta protect me, because I'm saying no, and I don't want this person, as powerful as they are, to try to get in the way of my work. So I started recording. So I have them offering me money to take my clothes off. I have recordings when I wasn't working with them or for them. I have recordings of them confessing that, the other guys that they have on the payroll, all of the above.
And just when you think it couldn't possibly get any messier, boom, another actor from The Oval steps forward, accusing both Tyler Perry and the VP of his studios, Mark Swinton, of serious misconduct, and even claims they paid off federal officials to bury it all.
I'm not about to hide anything with you guys. I'm not. And I'm not about to sit here and be afraid and be silenced by people knowingly they did me wrong. I'm calling out Tyler Perry Studios. I'm calling out Mark Swinton. I'm calling out Jeannie Harrison. I'm calling out Michael Robbins. I'm calling out Tyler Perry, and I'm calling out Mark Temple, and I'm calling out Chris Giovanni. I want you guys to know what you guys did to me was very unlawful. And me being a retired vet, U.S. Army vet, going through post-traumatic stress disorder, going through mood, depressions, everything that I have claimed in my testimony, you all covered it up. You all covered up a felony crime of what Mark Swinton has done to me. I've asked for help from the California State Bar to complain to Jeannie Harris because she didn't tell me my California right as a U.S. Army veteran and a California LA resident. I'm sitting here looking on the news that this kid named Derek Dixon is getting unlimited jurisdiction quid pro as an LA resident, right? His incident happened in 2020 in Georgia in an employment place. He said he had a and he was by Tyler Perry in Georgia as an employment place, but he's an LA resident. All right, y'all tracking what I'm saying?
It's looking real bad out here for both Shannon and Tyler. More lawsuits are rumored to be on the way, and insiders say what we've seen so far is just the beginning. If only they had listened to Katt Williams when he tried to put them on game, they might not be drowning in scandals right now. One person online said, they love them white women, and most of them are after one thing, and that's money. That little girl played him. She had a plan from the start. Another wrote, what is happening? Every week, it's a new allegation. I've never seen this many back-to-back in just a few months. Not Tyler, man. People have been suspicious of Tyler for years, but now it's all spilling out in public, and it's not looking good for anybody involved. Now, I really want to hear what you think. Was Katt Williams right all along about Shannon and Tyler sabotaging their own careers? Do you think this is the final curtain for them, or are they gonna find a way to bounce back? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get into it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next wild update. Click right here to watch this next messy video. See you on the next one.